What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Thank you for tuning in to episode 15 of the Daily Dose podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Jackpack LLC, all organically grown cannabis right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Got some shirts dropping soon. Be on the lookout for that. Got a great episode to go over today. UFC 316 in the books from Saturday. Pretty good card coming up this weekend. Couple other current topics to go over. Let's get right into it, guys. Wow, UFC 316. So, initially the card was going okay. Had a few decisions. Then a beautiful left hook KO, face plant by Joe Sang. That was insane. He said he even felt bad about it. That was spectacular. Then you had the Chaos Williams fight versus Andreas Gustafsson. And man, that dude put it on Chaos Williams, unfortunately. He was just coming forward, taking him down, pressure, throwing shots. There wasn't much that Chaos Williams could do. So that was a pretty crazy fight. Then you had a beautiful TKO at light heavyweight by Akamaz Murzakov, I think it was. That was a pretty crazy one. Joshua Van has been killing it as of lately at flyweight. Beautiful TKO. That division's not too stacked. So I feel like after this, if not one more, he could easily be right in that title shot. So let's go over the main card. The only one I was off on was Patchy Mix, of course. So we'll get right into it. Kevin Holland with a beautiful submission. It says Bravo choke. He called it the Dark Man choke. What he refers to as American Jiu-Jitsu. He's a Travis Lutter black belt. Beautiful performance by Kevin Holland. I think if he stays disciplined and dialed at 170 pounds, I don't know if he'll necessarily be the champ, but he'll definitely give us some great fights. Mario Bautista had a great game plan versus Patchy Mix. Shut down a lot of what he had to offer. He was landing some good body shots. Started opening it up top. Beautiful performance by him. So that was the one I was mainly off on. Joe Pfeiffer, just beat Kevin Gastelum post to post. Couldn't get him out of there, but he was landing and just putting it on him. It was pretty bad. I don't think Kelvin Gastelum has it anymore. In my opinion, he should probably hang it up. He's just not who he once was. In the co-main event, just as I said, Kayla Harrison mauls Juliana Pena, submits her with a Kimura choke. That was insane. She's just a beast. There's nothing we could say, guys. They let Amanda Nunes in the ring as she was in attendance. Supposedly Amanda wants to come back to fight her. We'll see what happens. And in your main event, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. Now, rematches are interesting. In my opinion, it usually always goes kind of one-sided, meaning one person figured out something from the first time. And it looked like Sean was doing great. He was defending a lot. He was moving around. Now, two things. First of all, you can't just keep defending and moving. He was throwing some shots out there, but a lot of people, when they fight a great grappler, they get stuck on just defending. Now, if you notice on the opposite side, Merab's best defense is just his offense. He's always coming forward. He's throwing something. So, in my opinion, Sugar should have been a little more active, but he went out there. He was doing great. Towards the end of the second round, I think what really got him is he defended a lot of takedowns. He was defending takedown after takedown. He was moving back and forth. He was going in circles. That's going to really zap you because when they come out in the third, Merab picks him up, takes him down, submits him. Pretty crazy. Nothing you can do. Merab's going to be pretty dominant at bantamweight. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anyone who deserves a shot against him. Dana was talking about maybe a rematch with Umar because of the broken arm, I believe. So we'll see. In my heart, I was hoping Sean would come out and pull it off. But, Merab was even more dominant than the first time. Shout outs to Merab Dvalishvili. Now, next weekend, it's a free card, but we actually have one of the better free cards I've seen in a long time. Just going over the prelims, Vanessa Demoplaz, I believe is how you say it, but the little monster, she's opening up the card. You got Philip Rowe, Ricky Simone versus Charles Jourdain. That's going to be a great fight. You got Cody Durnan. You got Malcolm Wellmaker. Now, this guy had a big KO on his last fight a couple weeks ago. They're bringing Chris Monquinho, the dude who had fought Suga and a couple other guys. He was basically just a punching bag his first time around. He's coming back to fight Malcolm Wellmaker. I think Wellmaker will have another beautiful KO, so keep your eye on that one. Michael Chiesa, Court McGee, Paul Craig. That is crazy stacked prelim. Then you go on to Alonzo Menafield on the main card, Cody Brundage. You got Cody Garbrandt returning. Now that's interesting. I think Cody's had a great relationship with the UFC. With how many fights he lost, most guys would have been out of there. So I think unless he wins this one, he's definitely going to be calling it as far as the UFC is concerned. You got Edmund Shabazian and Andre Petrosky. You got Rose versus Miranda Maverick. Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. So let's see. I'm going to go Alonzo Menafield, of course. I'm going to go with, like I said, Malcolm Wellmaker. That's probably the only one I'll pick on the prelims. I'm going with Cody Brundage. I'm going with Cody Garbrandt. He's fighting an older guy. I think kind of a favorable matchup for him. I'm taking, that's a tough one. I'm taking Edmund Shabazian. I'm taking Rose Namajunas, and I'm taking Joaquin Buckley. I think he's absolutely going to come out there and steamroll Kamaru Usman. You know, Usman just is not who he once was in this sport, fighting in general, boxing, whatever it is. Father of Time is undefeated. When the fight gods decide it's no longer your time, it's no longer your time. So that's what I think. It'll be a great card. I mean, for a free card, that is nuts. So definitely keep an eye out this weekend. Then we got now Keyshawn Davis. I don't know if a lot of you guys know him, but he's a big up-and-coming boxer. He's a big name. He wants to fight, Teofimo, Shakur, Tank, people like this. Leading up to this fight, he always talks a lot, promises a lot. He's going to do all this crazy stuff. He misses weight by 4 pounds. Edwin De Los Santos doesn't agree to fight him. Stripped of his title. I mean, come on, man. After all that stuff, then you get stripped of your title by missing weight. No justification for that. If you can't make the weight, then move up weight classes. So that was crazy. Then it seemed like his brother lost in a big fight, was kind of an upset. Then it seemed like they kind of jumped him in the locker rooms after. Keyshawn Davis was allegedly, escorted out by police. So pretty crazy scene, and definitely not how you conduct yourself as a champion. So shame on him. He calls himself the businessman. That was very, very unprofessional in every way. That whole weekend. It was in his home city, so shame on you, man. You let your people down, and yeah, you definitely owe him big time on your next one. So Teofimo Lopez, he was alleged he agreed to a fight with Devin Haney. Devin Haney signs it. I was like, hell yeah, I thought Teofimo could definitely win that fight. Then it comes out that he backs out. Now, allegedly, he wanted to fight at 140. Devin wanted at 47. They agreed to 145, which is weird. He wanted to fight Boots and at 47, Crawford at 54, all this crazy stuff, but you won't fight Devin Pillow Hands Haney at 145. So that was whack. Sheik was going to offer him $11 million allegedly. Teofimo, you're crazy, my boy. You ain't going to be seeing money like that. You better take that. You better call them and apologize. I thought, like I said, that's definitely a winnable fight for Teofimo. So I'm not sure what happened there. Now, this guy Deathwish, guys, goodness gracious. There was a thing where he was talking trash on Sean Strickland, and it's pretty crazy, I get you want to say this and that, but Sean Strickland is not the guy to do it, because the thing about it is, if you got a problem with Sean Strickland, you could definitely just go see him. He would definitely spar you, and we've seen how that goes, and it does not go good. So I'm pulling it up, guys, because I want to kind of go over exactly what he said. Here it is. So death sentence goes off on Sean Strickland, says DDP, told him about his dad doing what he did to him. He said, you're just going to take that. George Masvidal, King Von, Nate Diaz, Ski Mask wouldn't have extension. All these skinny guys, they wouldn't have taken that from DDP. Bro, you're out of your mind. You wouldn't say nothing to DDP's face, nor Sean Strickland's face. This is an example, guys. I just can't do it. He's a cool character. He's this and that. You're a goofball, though. That's crazy. Don't talk about dudes like that, because like I said, pull up to Extreme Couture, post the video. I would love to see Sean Strickland straight manhandle you, buddy. So, I don't know. Some of these dorks get stuff twisted for sure. So, I just thought that was an interesting one. Now, Ben Askren. Prayers for Ben Askren and his family. Allegedly, he has pneumonia and some other illnesses, and he's in pretty bad shape in the hospital. So, sad to hear. You know what I mean? Of course, you never wish ill will on anybody. So, hopefully he gets better. Hopefully he can get home to his family. Prayers for him. Vasyl Lomachenko announces his retirement from boxing. Obviously, Father of Time is undefeated, like I said. Vasyl was a beast. In my opinion, he kind of wasted a lot of his career by fighting so long in the amateurs. He had like 300 amateur fights. But then he came into boxing, second fight was already for a title fight. Gave us a lot of great fights. I just feel like if he came in a little earlier, he could have done more. But shout out to Vasily Lomachenko. Thank you for the great fights. Some of the greatest footwork ever in the sport of boxing. If you haven't seen him fight, go check out just how he moves, how he would go in and out, switch stances. I mean, he made people just straight quit. Like 4 or 5 opponents in a row just quit because they couldn't hit him. So remarkable talent. Shout outs to him. TikToker Casby Lame, I think it is, detained by ICE in Vegas. So the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I know it's a hot topic, and if there was no reason, if they just arrested him for some random stuff and it turns out he's good, he's a citizen, shame on them. Because again, now you're just, you're making stuff harder. It's already a touchy subject, and now if you're wrongfully detaining people, you're definitely going to cause more issues. So hopefully they get that all sorted out. Never like to see stuff like that. Fight announcement, we got Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Supposedly it's going down October in Abu Dhabi. Man, if that is the case, Paddy Pimblett, he's a brave lad right there. That should be a hell of a fight. I mean, obviously Justin Gaethje is more, calculated these days, but definitely Paddy Pimblett will have to bring it. He'll have to be on his P's and Q's. If at any point he pulls back with his chin up in the air, he will be face down, ass up. So that should be a great fight. Can't wait to see that one. Mark Hunt lawsuit. So I don't know if a lot of people know, but from whenever he fought Brock Lesnar, he's had this ongoing lawsuit for millions of dollars in the UFC, alleging they knew that Brock was on steroids. And so it looked like for a while he was going to win. Now the case has been dismissed. So that's very, very interesting. I think fighters in the future will know not to kind of go at the UFC like that. I'm sure Mark Hunt wasted tons and tons of money, so that's too bad, especially he's already retired and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys seen the video. There's a pretty funny video out where Khabib and the YouTuber streamer, whatever, Ishowspeed, were at the same soccer event in a different country, and Ishowspeed was telling him that basically you're not that good at soccer, your skills aren't that good, blah blah blah. And Khabib said, hey, there's no one between us, so just remember that. And his face was priceless. Like, Khabib was just basically telling him, buddy, I could manhandle you right now if I wanted to. And it's pretty funny, because Khabib's, in general, kind of a humble guy. Would he necessarily do that or not? He looked pretty serious, though. So it's funny. Sometimes you got to put these people in their place. He thought it would be funny to, kind of critique him on his skill on worldwide TV. And Khabib shut that down real quick. So shout outs to Khabib. Something pretty funny I saw. Sofia Vergara, she seeks a partner who makes $180 million a year, which is 0.00015% of the whole country. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's like you're not going to find anybody if that's your bare minimum. So, obviously, in that position, I could see how it would be harder to kind of be with somebody, but at the same time, you got to realize who you are. And if you find the right person, maybe you want to do a prenup or something like that. But if that is your minimum requirement, $180 million, good luck, ma'am. You're going to be a dang cat lady for however long you're, on this earth. Because I know she's already a little older. Just thought that was an interesting one. But pretty crazy fights this weekend. I mean, that UFC 316 was one of the best cards we've seen in a while. It was cool to see. Even some of the heavyweight fights, like on the prelims, were a banger. A lot of good fights. And it seems like the Fight Night card this weekend is one of the most stacked we've had in a while. So don't get it twisted, guys. Of course, the UFC has to pump stuff out, and they got contracts to meet, but they definitely always put on the best show. And as we've seen, PFL is going to be going out of business, guaranteed. Bellator already did. GFL didn't even have a chance. The UFC is a well-oiled machine, and there may be some things you don't agree with, but the fact of the matter is they're the only organization that has stood the test of time. You ask any MMA fighter, that's where they want to fight at. You ask a casual fan, they think UFC is MMA. Most people just go, oh, do you UFC? So it is what it is, guys. Great episode. Going to end on this. Of course, we got our message of the week, and it's never been easier time in generations. It's never been an easier time in the world to be successful. There's so many ways to capitalize and make money, content, working hard, whatever it may be, even in the regular job field. Like, just doing what used to be bare minimum will now set you apart. If you come on time, if you work hard, if you're honest, if you care. some things that used to be basic traits to have a job. If you do that in this day and age, you will excel and go further than people ever have. So if you're discouraged, if you're unsure, until you can find what a passion is or what to go for, whatever job you're at, just go hard. Just do really good. Go above and beyond. Do those things like I was saying, and I'm sure you'll be successful. Streaming content is a huge thing. AI is going to be, definitely interacting with the world more and more. So learning stuff with that, how to kind of partner up with it, that's always going to be a big thing. There's infinite ways to make money and get it. Just make sure you're out there getting yours. Thank you so much, guys. Episode 15 of the Daily Dose Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll be dropping content all week. We'll be covering the fights this weekend. I'll see you guys next week.